What is going on, guys? It is WrestleGamia here, back with another video. WWE 2K20 has been a nearly universal disappointment, with fans assembling a laundry list of problems with the game. The game is so bad that it's even led to several videos by us chronicling everything wrong with it. Now it even looks like the company have admitted that the game is a wreck. Join us now as WrestleGamia looks at Take-Two's admission of guilt concerning WWE 2K20, as well as a look at why the game was such a disaster. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. According to the site True Achievements, Take-Two Interactive Software, the company that owns 2K, President Karl Slatoff discussed the game's launch during a financial earnings call. While we aren't disappointed with the reviews and consumer feedback for WWE 2K20, last week Visual Concepts released a patch that should address many of the concerns, LOL, and they will continue to make further enhancements to the gameplay experience. Slatoff also said that despite WWE 2K20's launch, Take-Two still believes in the franchise. The WWE brand continues to expand worldwide, and we believe there remains a substantial long-term opportunity to grow our WWE 2K series by improving the quality of the game. But whether it was the game's wonky graphics, a Jericho-style list of glitches and bugs, ineffective targeting system, crashes or freezes, not to mention some idiots like us who paid $130 for the collector's edition and some not even getting an autographed picture, nevertheless the game was released, regardless how bad it was, which most would agree was very bad. As the article states, the game's many problems arose from a change in game designers. WWE 2K20 was originally being developed by Yukes, who had developed all the WWF/WWE games since the year 2000. 2K let Yukes go from the project in favour of their own in-house developer Visual Concepts. An article at GameStop discussed the change in designers. WWE 2K20 was the first WWE game developed entirely by Visual Concepts, who produces the NBA 2K series. The WWE 2K series was previously developed by the Japanese studio Yukes, though the studio became frustrated with its working relationship with 2K Sports, according to VGC. Yukes is now developing a wrestling game of its own to rival WWE 2K. Compounding the problems caused by the shift in designers was the looming deadline to meet the game's October 2019 release. For all intents and purposes, the game was released before it was finished, resulting in the game being savaged by players who dropped $60 or more for an imperfect game. But in case you didn't know it, WWE 2K20 is the first WWE game designed largely by Visual Concepts. Visual Concepts is perhaps best known for designing the game NBA 2K. In August 2019, fans discovered longtime WWE game designer Yukes was being pushed aside in order for Visual Concepts to take over. An article at Polygon.com explains what led to this change. Osaka, Japan-based Yukes has been the maker of wrestling and fighting games since the early 1990s. It delivered annual titles for the WWE SmackDown and Raw television events from 2000 to 2012 under publisher THQ. The company's also created a surprisingly successful series of Ultimate Fighting Championship games, UFC Undisputed. The UFC license is now held by EA Sports. However, as often happens, financial disruptions can lead to a shift in how a game is produced or who oversees production. Here, Yukes no longer had full control over the game. THQ's bankruptcy and liquidation dispersed numerous big-name properties in 2012 and 2013, and 2K Sports parent Take-Two Interactive picked up the WWE license at a fire sale price. In the years since, the series rebranded WWE 2K, with Yukes and Visual Concepts working jointly on it, has steadily changed to reflect the priorities of its new publisher, particularly with the introduction of premium downloadable content and a story-based career suite evocative of NBA 2K's My Career mode. According to an article at Video Game Chronicle, Yukes has previously been the sole developer on the series until now defunct publisher THQ. Following 2K's 2013 acquisition of the game rights, its own sports studio Visual Concepts was introduced as a joint developer. Typically, the two companies split their duties, with Yukes leading design, art and tech, while Visual Concepts provided animation, audio and script writing. Based on the article, it's clear that financial considerations led to Yukes being edged out of the scene. While Yukes' work has been criticized on the 2K series in the past, WWE 2K19 was praised by fans with expectations high for 2K20. However, as the months passed leading up to 2K20's release, it appears Yukes and 2K Sports' relationship was reaching its breaking point, with the Polygon article noting, "Yukes lost its patron in 2012 and its relevance to this series has been bleeding out ever since." In May, the studio revealed in an interview with Video Games Chronicle that it was developing a new unlicensed wrestling video game, acknowledging that the deteriorating relationship with 2K Sports was a part of the decision to do so. Despite the release of a patch, the game still has a number of issues, although nothing as bad as when the game was first released. More patches are expected, but the game remains a subject of criticism, such as the new DLC content Bump in the Night. The DLC has been criticized for providing little more than new skins for established wrestlers and for not providing new WWE superstars to use. On a brighter note, Yukes has gone on record as working on a new video game that it hopes will not only be an alternative to 2K, but help recharge Yukes' creative batteries. Fans are already speculating that Yukes might be involved with the rumored AEW video game, but as mentioned previously, they did say that the game was unlicensed. However, that might have changed later on. But whatever the future holds for Yukes, Take-Two is at least acknowledging its responsibility in WWE 2K20's failed release. Now the question is whether they'll do anything to rectify the problem to players' satisfaction, as it has harmed the future release of WWE 2K21. But onto a bit more positive news, how did the Fiend make it into this year's game? Now, as we mentioned before, 2K and Visual Concepts were on a tight schedule to release the game, and with Bray Wyatt's Fiend character only being introduced properly just before SummerSlam, only pretty much just a month or two away from its official release, they managed to fit him into this year's game. It's something that developers don't really do very often, as they often wait for DLC early next year or hold off until next year's game. However, they must have noticed a huge selling point and created the Bump in the Night DLC, which effectively created more hype for the game, as it's arguable Bray Wyatt is currently the most popular WWE superstar today. In an interview with the website Comic Book, developers discuss how they managed to get him in the game so quickly. Well, when they first said they'd be right before SummerSlam, we're like, oh, that's interesting. That's not the one that was in Firefly Funhouse. And then you're like, okay, what is that? That's cool. Then all of a sudden at SummerSlam, you saw the entrance, you saw the lantern and you saw all of it, the victory scene. We had just done some recordings of Bray doing voiceover for the showcase for originals and we were just like, oh my god. Then he was like, so what'd you guys think of the theme? That's really cool, and he's like, it's gonna be in the game, right? Oh man, it'd be really cool if it was in the game. So the guy that was at the recording session, one of my designers told me about it, and I was like, yeah, I think it would be really cool. He's right. You know, we were done adding characters. We were done with mocap. We were done with everything that we were adding. We're just trying to polish what we had in the game for months now. And again, this was not on the radar at all. I talked to marketing and talked to the WWE and asked, what do you guys think of this idea? They were like, that's a great idea. I think people would love it. Luckily, it lines up with the whole theme of what we were doing with originals, and the fact that it wasn't, it didn't have to be done before on disc and could be part of our first DLC. So just like the timing was kind of in our favour. I wouldn't say perfect, but in our favour. So we had to cram in one last mocap shoot, get the models done, get the entrances done, get the lantern done. The team really came together and got that thing in, and I'm happy it's in there, just seeing how well it turned out. To me, this game wouldn't have been complete without it. We're also very happy that it made it into the game, as to be honest, it's one of the most playable characters we have right now. But there you have it guys, Take-Two's confession over WWE 2K20, as well as the reason why it's a complete dud. Are you surprised the company admitted the game was a pile of rubbish? Or at least disappointed? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.